We're taught so often as women to not stand out and to quiet down and to take it a notch down and don't make a scene. I want you to make a scene here, and I want you to celebrate yourself for what you're proud of. You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, and Happy New Year. Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Classroom podcast. I am Sandy Patterson, your host and certified life and business coach, and welcome to the first episode of 2024. Happy 2024. Happy fresh starts. Happy everything, really. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season if you celebrate the holidays, and that you are stepping into 2024 feeling really rested and rejuvenated and just ready to tackle whatever 2024 has in store and really just ready to crush your goals. I know I am. I'm excited to see what 2024 brings. Now, we all hear that saying, new year, new you. And it really bugs me because I don't believe that anyone needs to become a whole new person. It's almost comes with this idea that on New Year's Day, you wake up as this brand new person. And that, number one, sounds like a lot of work. And it makes me think of going into witness protection, right? And becoming this whole new person and taking on a whole new identity. And really, I just want to be who I am, right? It doesn't sound good to me at all. It sounds like a lot of work to try to figure out how to become a brand new person. However, I do want to talk to you today about stepping into 2024, not as a new you or a new person or a whole new vibe, but just being you as you are now, just better. So a little fun fact about me, as many of you know, I am a barre instructor. I love barre. It's the one workout that I feel it just makes me happy to do it. I really love it. And I got started with barre through Elise Jones' Beachbody program. It's called Barre Blended. It's on Beachbody. I think it's just called Body now. And that's actually how I got started doing barre. And fast forward now, I'm a barre instructor and I still love barre as much as I did back then when I started doing Elise's program. But I just adore her. I love her messaging and I really, really love how she combines mindset and movement, and her whole vibe is just so good. But anyways, my husband would always make fun of me when I was doing these workouts in my living room because I just hang on to her every word. And he would say what is it about her? Are you trying to be like her? And I would be absolutely not. No, I am just trying to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be, because that's really what her messaging is all about. It's just about showing up and being the very best version of yourself and trusting and knowing and believing that that really truly is enough. So this new year, it is not about new year, new you. It's about new year, same you, just better. But how do we know we're working as the best version of ourselves, right? How do we actually know that? Well, in this episode today, I have some questions for you. And these are not necessarily to plan out your goals for this year, because you could just Google goal setting and a ton of results will pop up, right? But to be the same amazing you that you already are, just better. And this, of course, just like everything else we do here on the podcast, it takes intentionality and it takes noticing always, right? So I'm going to give you some questions to help guide you and really help you determine how you can show up as the best version of yourself. Now, what I did is I categorized these questions into 3 categories. The categories are gratitude and acknowledgement. That is the first category. Now, this is where we're really going to pay attention here, and we are not going to be shy about celebrating everything that we have already accomplished. As humans, we tend to hang on to the negative things, right? The things that we didn't do, the things that we failed at, or the things that we did not follow through on. But these questions are going to hopefully help you pay attention to what did go well and to celebrate yourself, to talk yourself up and to recognize all of the great things. Because even if you had a really crappy year, there were still really great things that happened. There were lessons that were learned, and there were things that you came out of stronger than you were a year ago. So these questions are designed to acknowledge the progress and celebrate and just sit in that gratitude for a little bit. Okay. The second set of questions are all about changing it up. This is where we're going to pay attention to things you might want to eliminate or move away from, and also think about things that maybe you want to move towards that you haven't in the past. Okay. And then the last category is the get moving category, right? Because you can think all you want, lady, but if you don't actually do anything, nothing's going to change. We can sit and think and listen to all the podcast episodes and read all the books, but you actually have to do something. You have to get moving in order to make stuff happen. So that is what that last category is all about. Now, I will go through each category. Feel free as you're listening to the question to pause and write down or voice memo or just even sit and think about your answers. These questions are intended to come back to over and over again as often as you need to, and you can use these questions any time of the year, any time that you're needing a little recalibration and a little alignment. And if writing is your thing, these are also available as a download. So you can go ahead and check out the show notes, and there is a link there for you to download these questions, and there's space almost like in a journal for you to write your responses and write your answers. And again, you can print out as many as you want, use this as many times as you want, and work this into whether it's a monthly thing or a quarterly thing. But all of these questions are really, again, designed to help you determine how you're showing up and how you can show up as the very best version of yourself. Okay, so let's start with our first category. The first category is gratitude and acknowledgement. And there are quite a few questions here. So again, I'm going to read through these questions. Please feel free to pause, take a break, think, write, do whatever you need to do. And then as you need to, pause as much as you want, come back to this episode as much as you want. Just take your time on these, okay? Okay, first question is, what did I accomplish this year? So list out all of the things that you accomplished, whether they're big, they're small, they're tiny, they're gigantic. What did you accomplish? List them all out. What did you do well? What did I do well this year, or this month, or this week, or this day? What did you do well? There's something that you did well, even if it was an awful day and you made a mistake or you made a big fumble or whatever it is, something went well. What was it? Now, what are you proud of yourself for? Take a second. We don't often sit in this idea of feeling proud of ourselves because it feels like we are being boastful, or we're taught so often as women to not stand out and to quiet down and to take it a notch down and don't make a scene. I want you to make a scene here, and I want you to celebrate yourself for what you're proud of. Okay, and take a minute, really seriously pause this here. What are you proud of yourself for? If you're really, truly, truly digging and you're like, what did you do that you are proud of yourself for? The next question, who did I make a difference for this year? Who are the people in my life or my business that I impacted? Oftentimes we have our goals set so high and we want to create this huge, gigantic impact in the world, which is awesome. However, we sometimes overlook the difference that we're making every day in the people that are close to us in their lives. So take a second and really reflect on who you made a difference for this year and who are the people in your life that you impacted or the people that you impacted in your business, even if it was just in a small way. You impacted a lot more people than you're probably giving yourself credit for. So take a second and recognize those people and recognize yourself for making a difference, even if it's just in a small way and even if it is just in your circle. Because it doesn't matter whether that circle is 2 people or 200,000 people. 100 years from now, those 2 people are going to look back, or 50 years from now, whatever, those 2 people are going to look back and you made a difference for them. And that is something, again, to be proud of yourself for. Next question, in what spaces and what activities did I feel good doing this year? Now, this is talking about physical spaces and actual activities or things that you said yes to that you really, truly enjoyed. Again, life is moving. Life goes fast, right? We are constantly doing things that we don't often have time to sit and think about this. But if you think about this, what physical spaces were you in that made you feel really good? And what activities did you do this year that you said yes to that you really actually enjoyed, that you really enjoyed doing it? Next question, who were the people that gave me energy and lit me up? So who were the people around you that did just that filled you up, lit you up, had you excited to be around them, had you feeling like you could truly be you as you are? This is another thing I don't think that we pay attention to as often as we should, and it's the people that we surround ourselves with. And oftentimes, I think that we surround ourselves with people that maybe are not serving us anymore, or serving our energy anymore, or serving our goals anymore. And we do it out of habit. We do it because we want to be nice. We do it because we don't want to make anybody upset. But just take a second. Who were those people for you this year, or this month, or in this day that gave you energy, that energized you to be around, and that really lit you up, and that you were really excited to be around? The next question is list 10 tiny things that you are thankful for. So when I say tiny things, I'm thinking about things that you don't really even pay attention to every day, but you really notice when they're gone. So here are just a few of mine. This is not all of mine, but a few of mine are the seat warmers in my car. I'm so thankful for those things. A working washer and dryer. We had our washer and dryer go out this year, and oh my goodness, we had to go to the laundromat, which was totally fine, but I'm very thankful for a working washer and dryer. I'm thankful for warm running water. Anybody who knows when the hot water heater goes out and you have to take a cold shower, that's rough. I'm thankful for my health and my family's health. Now, that's not a tiny thing, but again, it's something that I don't necessarily pay attention to every day. But then when we all get sick and we're all down for the count, I'm thankful for our health. And I'm thankful for help from others and the help that I get without even asking for help. I'm thankful for those tiny little things. Okay. The next question is, what moments were you truly present in this year? This is an interesting one because you were there all year. You were in your body, you were in yourself, and you went through life and you did all the things, and you probably did a ton of things, right? But what stands out to you as moments that you were truly present? That means that you were just there. You were not worrying about anything outside of that moment. You weren't worrying about work or the to-do list or the business or anything. What were those moments? Because those are the moments that shape us, right? Those are the moments that we celebrate. And the last question in the gratitude and acknowledge category is, who showed me grace this year and how did they show you grace? I think this is an important one to pay attention to because we make mistakes. We're humans, right? We make mistakes. I know I made some pretty big mistakes this year, and I was shown an immense amount of grace that almost brought tears to my eyes. Like I just couldn't wrap my head around how kind people were when I had inconvenienced them because of a mistake on my part. And so I try to recognize that and then ask yourself too, the second part of this question is, how can you show others the same grace? How can I show others grace as I would want others to show me grace? And then the last part of this question, and probably the most important part of this question, is how can you show yourself more grace? How can I show myself more grace? This is important, and it is also often overlooked because we oftentimes, if you really slow down, especially in moments of overwhelm and of anxiety and stress and a lot going on, you are talking to yourself in your head. There's a constant dialogue going on. And oftentimes in those moments of stress and overwhelm, we are talking to ourselves in a very, very, what's the word for it? Like a not nice way. We wouldn't talk to our best friend the way that we're talking to ourselves. So why would we think it's okay to talk to ourselves like that? So how can we show ourselves more grace as we move into this new year or this new month or this new day even? Okay. So that's the first category of questions. The second category of questions is all about changing it up. And this is where we're going to pay attention to things that we might want to eliminate or move away from, or things that we want to move towards that we haven't yet for various reasons. Okay. So the first question is, what did I want to accomplish this year and I didn't? And once you identify that, the key to this, it's one thing just to identify like what it is, but the second part of it is what got in your way. And if you're being really, really honest with yourself, we could say like, oh, well, I didn't have time, or oh, I didn't have this, or oh, something else came up. But really, what's underneath that? What actually got in your way? Okay, so take a second to think about that. The second question is, in what spaces and places did you feel your energy being drained? So again, life goes fast. This is the opposite of the previous question. In the gratitude and acknowledgement category, we don't pay attention to these things. We just do life. We just keep going, and we don't really stop to think and process, like, how is this serving me? Or is this even serving me? So what were some physical spaces and places did you feel your energy being drained? And it might also be an activity that you said or something that you committed to that now you're looking back and you're like, oh, that really drained me. It didn't actually energize me. It drained me. That might be something, those situations and those things might be something that you need to look at and determine how you can start to shift away from them. I know for me, this was a big one. Like, my job was draining me and it was draining my energy. It was essentially draining, it felt like it was draining like me at a soul level. Like I just wasn't the person I wanted to be. And that is a bigger change, right? We talk about spaces and places. That's a big thing, but this could also be a small thing. Maybe you committed to going to a birthday party and it wasn't, you're like, why am I even here? I don't even want to be here. Those are things that we can start to move away from. From the bigger things, that's another whole conversation that we can have about how to start to shift and make big changes. And we are all here on the podcast about making big changes and doing things messy and doing things when we don't feel like we're ready. But I want you in this moment to just pay attention to the spaces and the physical locations and the places that you went or you were or you had to be this year that drained your energy. Okay. The next question is, who were the people this year that drained your energy? So this is kind of like the last question, but this is actually the people. And again, this is another thing that I don't think we pay enough attention to. We have a tendency to say yes to everything, to want to do everything, so we're not making anybody upset. But if you really start to pay attention to this, there will be certain people for different reasons, right, that just drain your energy. Like, I've identified people in my life who I I don't even have to be in the same room with them. Like I can think about them and I can think about their vibe and I can think about what they're going to say. And it just drains me. Like it physically makes me tired. These are people that I am not willing to sacrifice my time or energy on. Not that I'm going to not be polite and kind and nice to them, but I have to protect my energy and I have to protect my time. In Rachel Rodgers' book, We Should All Be Millionaires, it is a great book. She talks about doing a friend audit or a relationship audit every year. And she talks about making a list of all of the people in your life, starting with the people that are closest to you and then going like down the line, just, acquaintances. But she talks about going through that list at least once a year and being like, did this person cut it? Is this person going to make the list for next year? And as savage as this sounds, it's actually a really, really great idea. Again, because you have to protect your energy and you have to protect your time. We do not have time to waste around people that are either draining us, our energy, that are going to bring that vibe down for us, or that just are not contributing to the relationship as you would hope. So take a second and do a friend audit too. I think it's a great idea. Now, the next question is, what was missing from your year? What do you feel like you need more of? And the answers to this question could range from, did you need more rest? Did you need more downtime? Did you maybe need more creativity, some time to be creative? Maybe it's a hobby. If you take a second to really think about this again and being intentional about your thoughts here, what was missing? And I know that your first instinct is to be like, well, rest, like I don't have any time to rest, or downtime, I don't have any downtime, or, I can't make more hours in the day. Strip all of that away. And if you didn't have responsibilities or anything like that, what is it that was missing from your life, from your year? And if it is rest, if it is downtime, if it is more time to be creative, if it is time to be a hobby, perfect. I'm not saying that you have to quit your job and just rest all day or like do a hobby all day, but I'm saying, how can you work to create more time, even if it's just a little bit of time, 15 minutes a day, or even just an hour or two a week to pour into this? You wouldn't believe what a difference that time devoted to something that you feel like you need more of will do for you. Okay, the last question, I'm going to have you fill in the blank here. And this is a really, really powerful question. When you look back in 50 years, so 50 years from now, you are answering this question. You're going to complete this sentence. I wish I had have worried less about blank, and I wish I had have spent more time blank. That's a powerful sentence frame there for you. It's going to bring a lot of things to light, a lot of things that you're worrying about now and that you don't necessarily need to be worrying about, because when we worry, it's taking our thoughts and energy away from something else that's probably more important. And what is it that you need to spend more time doing? What is that thing? Now, the last category is the get moving category. The get moving category is all about taking action here. So the first question is, who are the people I will continue to surround myself with that give me light and energy? Make a list. This goes with your friend audit, right? Who are the people that energize you, that you feel inspired being around? Those are the people that you're going to hold on to. What other individuals or groups do I want to get in a room with? So who are people that you really admire, that you would like, if you could sit down with an hour for them and pick their brain? Who are these people? And these are not people that you know now. They're people that you admire and look up to. So think about that, and then think about, get moving. How can you get in a room with them, right? And then make it happen. You move. Next question, how do I want to feel this coming year? Not what do I want to accomplish, or what are my goals, or how much revenue am I going to make in my business, or what are all the things I'm going to check off my list this year? How do you want to feel? That is a huge question. How do you want to feel? Take a second and think about that, and then look at how you've set up your life, your priorities, how you're spending your time. Is it allowing you to step into this feeling or these feelings for this coming year? Next question, what are the spaces and places that you can make a priority to feel this way? So again, thinking about the places that energized us, the physical places, and the activities and things that we did, we're going to cut out the things that didn't energize us and we're going to add more. We're going to prioritize being in the spaces and the places that we want to be in. Now, I know that sometimes, I know somebody's going to say, well, I have to go to work and work drains me. Yeah, but how can you prioritize your time outside of that to be in places and spaces that energize you? And again, if I get this on a very, very deep level too, because like I said before, I know my job was draining me too. I was walking away at the end of the day feeling like a shell of a person, but I didn't just sit in that. We get up and we get moving. We figure out, is it just the work? Is it how I'm using my time at work? Is it something I can shift within work? Or is this truly something that I need to take a look at and shift into another space or place? The next question, what are my thoughts for this year? And yes, you, my friend, get to choose your own thoughts. You have control over your thoughts. Now, sometimes people pick like words of the year. We're going to pick thoughts here. So pick them out, possibly maybe an affirmation for the year ahead. Write them down, post them by your computer or post them wherever you want. My words for this year are be radically brave. That is my affirmation. So anytime I am feeling any sort of doubt or I'm second guessing a decision or I'm having a hard time moving forward with something, I'm just going to remind myself that I need to be radically brave, not just brave, but radically brave, because that is where big things happen. And I am all about making big things happen this year in 2024. And I know you are too, because you are still here, you're still listening, and you get this, okay? So pick your thoughts, pick your affirmations, pick your words, pick whatever you want. And then I would love to hear what your thoughts are for this year. Now, the last two questions are, how can I express myself more this year? I think that, again, I talked about this a little bit earlier. We are taught to tone it down, to be quiet, to not make anybody feel uncomfortable, don't ruffle any feathers, tread lightly, all of those lovely thoughts that I am personally going to throw in the trash this year. How can you express yourself more? And how can you trust yourself more to express yourself more? So that's kind of twofold there. Expressing yourself means you are being the fullest version of you. It means you're taking up space, not just physical space, but you're taking up space in the world with your thoughts, with your ideas, with your light, with your personality, with your knowledge, with all of these things. And again, it goes back to trusting in yourself and that you are enough as you are, exactly as you are in this moment. It is exactly where you're supposed to be and how you are supposed to be. And the last question in the Get Moving category is, how can I be more myself this year? So what are pieces of you that you are still kind of trying to compress or hide or shove down? Let's bring those up this year. Let's be more you. Let's step more into the beauty of you and who you are. Okay, this was a lot of really deep questions. I hope that you found them helpful. I hope that they got you thinking, and I hope that they are in somehow, some way going to help get you set up for 2024 and for being the best version of you that you can possibly be. Now, I know that a lot of these questions, like I said, possibly can elicit a lot of feelings, a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts, especially if you're being honest with yourself about some of these. So if you feel like you need to talk through these more, please know that I am here for it. I am here to help you get moving. That is my whole purpose in life, is to show you the possibility that anything that you want is possible for you. You just have to get moving. And I'm here for it. So if you are interested in one-to-one coaching, please reach out. These are all things that we work on together. We set you up for an incredible, not only year, but an incredible week, an incredible month, an incredible quarter. And whatever your goals are, whatever you're dreaming is out there, but you're like, I'm not sure if it's possible. It is. Okay, it is if two things happen. Number one, you're willing to show up and do the work and you're willing to get moving. And number two, you are committed to the work. And that is basically describing all of my clients here. They're willing to show up. They're ready to get moving. They're ready to do the work. And I am ready for you when you're ready to take that step to make this year the very, very best. But if nothing else, take these questions, be honest with yourself, and move into 2024 in a place of being you, being all of you, every part of you, the good, the bad, all of it. And just step into 2024 knowing that it is enough and that you've got this. You 100% have this. And I can't wait to look back on this next year with you and see all of the things you've accomplished this year. So until next time, keep crushing those goals, and I will see you in the next episode. Happy New Year. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.